Hey guys, it's Erin from Ginger Florals. Today, this video is by request. I've had a lot of you guys ask me what the varieties are of the dahlias that I'm growing, so I thought I would just cut one of each and show you what each of them look like. So I just went down the rows you saw and just took one of each kind that's blooming. So we'll just go through them one by one and show you the beauty of each one specifically. So let's start. This is the first row in the field. I only have 3 rows this year. I cut down on the number of different varieties and just grew more of each. So let's start here. The very first one in there, this one's called Brookside Snowball. This is a really sturdy, strong stemmed ball type dahlia. Really good, classic. It's easy to find. I love it. It goes really well for all kinds of wedding work. And then the next one, this one is actually one of the first that I ever grew. This one is called Bridezilla. It has those super soft, delicate petals, but it's surprisingly sturdy also. And it gets huge flowers, just absolutely covered. It's a really good classic white, and if you do any wedding work, this one I highly recommend. It's got such a soft look to it that brides love it. Okay, let's see. Next we have this guy. Oh, they're all tangled. Hold on. This one is actually one that we grew. I've told you about this one before. It doesn't have a name. It is kind of wobbly, so I'm not real sure that we're gonna keep it after this year, but the color's gorgeous. It looks like a smaller version of a cafe au lait, which isn't surprising because I cross-pollinated a cafe au lait and a Castle Drive, and this is what I got. So pretty. It's, like I said though, it's pretty wobbly. It doesn't hold up. I mean, it holds up in a vase, but the stems are thin and the head isn't real solid, so it probably won't make it past this year, maybe just into my garden because I think it's beautiful. Let's see here. This one is called Chewy. It's a really soft, I love this sort of peachy, dark peachy color, but it has that purple center and the edges are sort of tipped with purple. This is one that goes, you can use in a lot of different color palettes, and it bridges that divide. If you have peach flowers and purple flowers, it kind of crosses them together and brings it all together. It also has really sturdy stems. Let's see. This one is harder to see right now, but this one is called Breakout. This one might be my second favorite of all the dahlias that I grew out there. And if I had left this to grow, I didn't have any full open ones, but if I had left this one to grow, I'm not kidding you, it would be this big. It's as big as my head on a normal day. And these sort of yellow and peach and raspberry colors, they're very similar to the apple blossom, this one, in their coloring, but this is just a huge fluffy dinner plate. I love it. It's not terribly practical in market bouquets, but it's really good for wedding work, and I particularly love this one. Let's see what else we have in here. This one, I'm gonna say I love it a lot because pretty much all these I love. This one is called Chewy. It also has that sort of deep apricot peachy color and a lavender center, but it's a wildly different shape. I love this one. It's so fun. It's not a usual one that most people grow. A lot of people, if you grow dahlias in your garden, a lot of people want the big dinner plate dahlias because they're stunning and striking. But this is a really good size to tuck into bouquets for the market. So these two are very similar when they're just getting growing in the garden. This one is Peaches and Cream. I adore this color combination. Can you tell I like peach? This peach with the white tips, it's so good. So good. This one, I am blanking on the name, but it's very similar in coloring. This one just has less of the white and it's not quite as deep of a peach color. I'll put the name up for this one. They're both fantastic. This one is probably my favorite of the two. The higher contrast just does it for me more. But they're both beautiful, and the customers really enjoy both of them. Beauty. This one is called Henrietta. She's an interesting one. I like this spiky sort of shape of her, and this soft pinky peach is really good. She puts out a ton of stems, like a ton, but they're kind of wimpy and they tend to blow out really quick. I I don't know how much I'm gonna grow. I love this color and the way the petals are sort of striped. I wish I could show you that better, but I don't know. It's just not the same quality of a bloom that I like, but the color is hard to beat. It really does well. If you're doing wedding work, again, this is a good one. It doesn't have to last super long. I think I have a bee in that little pocket in there. This one is called Chewy. This one's called Chewy, not Chewy. Oh, this one is Cornell Bronze. It's very much like the Cornell red Cornell Dahlia. That ball shape is classic. It's sturdy. They hold up really well in bouquets. They last a lot longer than any of the big open ones. But this one's really good. I really like it. It has sort of that brownish, almost orangey color, that bronze. But the shape is solid, and I really like it. Yeah, there's absolutely a bee in there. Okay, and then the last two in here. This one is, oh, she lost the petal. This one is Apple Blossom. It's a really, it's funny because throughout the season, this one will sort of change color. It'll be more peachy early in the season, then it'll turn yellow, and then it kind of goes back and forth. This one is really good. The colors, I like the colors a lot. The hard part with open centered dahlias is that they just simply don't last very long in a vase. These are fantastic for your garden though. The bees love them. Any kind of open centered dahlia, the bees are going to just go nuts for. And this one's a classic. And like I said, the colors are great. That soft yellow and the peachy color, again with the peach. I don't know. But either way, I really like this one. I'm on the fence on whether or not next year I'm going to grow it in the cut garden or just put it into my actual gardens, but we'll see. And then the last one is a cafe au lait. I didn't have one that was fully open, but she's just a classic. She's the queen of dahlias. Wonderful in all kinds of wedding work. She does actually hold up fairly well in a bouquet. She's a little less fragile than some of the other big dinner plate dahlias, but yeah, cafe. She's always a stunner. Okay, I think that's it for this first bucket. So that first row is done. Let's move on to this row. Okay, let's start with this one. This guy, oh, I wish you could. The lighting is terrible today. It's gray and cloudy and rainy. But this guy is called Bracken Rose. It's so pretty. This one is Bracken Rose. I had a hard time getting my hands on it for a few years, and then I did get one, and it didn't sprout, and I was really disappointed, but I finally got it this year, and she's gorgeous. She's a good, sturdy, salt, like you can't shake that flower and have it move at all. And the colors with the lavender and that deep bronzy color, they go with everything. Let's see, this guy, this one is called Caitlin's Joy. I cannot get the camera to show you how bright this color is, how vibrant. It's just so good, just amazing. I love this year in particular. I'm a huge fan of these super bright pinky mauvey purple colors that they just stand out. I don't know, my eyes drawn to them this year. Every year is a little bit different, but this year is certainly the year for the bright pinks. And this one also is a really good sturdy bouquet dahlia. This guy, not so sturdy. See, it's floppy. This one's one of ours. It does not have a name either. I just grew it. I grew it from seed 2 years ago, and then last year I tried it. I saved the tubers and I grew it again. I love the color, but I don't love the floppy head, so she probably won't make it another year, sadly. But she is really pretty. Let's see what's next. This guy. This is the. This is Cornell. She's the classic red version of the Cornell bronze that we just looked at. Super, super vibrant, dark red. It's a really, really classic, like fire engine red color. It doesn't jar your eyes at all, though. She's really pretty. This one's gonna be a classic always in my garden. And then this one is such a bright corally color. Man, the color is just not showing as much as I want it to. But this one is called Intrigue. I've been growing this one for quite a few years, and she really is beautiful. If you like corals and that sort of orangey pink color everywhere, she's a classic. I'm looking at a hanging basket with geraniums, and it's almost the same color of blooms on them. But yeah, she's a little bit more difficult to work in with the rest of the color palette that I have, but I find a way, and my customers love it. This one we have talked about many, many times. This is my favorite. This one is Labyrinth. The kind of almost yellow on the inside, and peaches and pink, that raspberry color. And this is just that big, gorgeous. Here, let me grab a different one. This one turns into just this big, wild mess of gorgeousness that I can't get over. Like I said, those colors, I crave these colors this time of year. It goes really well with the hot summer colors, and then it also transitions well with the fall colors, because dahlias span all the way into a frost. So like I said, this one is always probably my favorite in the garden, especially this time of year, and it puts out so many flowers. Even as big as they are and as sturdy as they are, each one of these plants puts out a ton of flowers and big, long, strong stems. Sorry, there's a plane flying by. The next one up this one is called Mai Tai. I mean, the name fits, right? The yellow and the red and the orange, it looks like a Mai Tai. Huge flowers, obviously. It holds up fairly well. It's pretty sturdy on the stem. Customer favorite. I find at markets, farmers markets, that these bright, bold yellows and reds really draw people in. And these ones are some of my favorite to do that. This beauty is called Sweet Natalie. She's just a soft pink. You can see the pink a little better right now on that backside. But she's got that creamy, soft white, and it turns into a blush pink on the inside. Also great for wedding work, but she's sturdy enough to handle her own in market bouquets. This beauty is called Fatima. I'll put the name on the screen. I don't know how to say it, but this is like an electric fuchsia color. I like these tiny little pompons. They just add that little pop, and I like to use this size flower for that bright color. It just draws your eye in. It stands out, and you don't have to have the whole bouquet being bright, punchy colors, and you can just have a little bit of pops here and there. I use Gomphrena in a similar way, and yeah, how is that not just the prettiest thing? It has that bright, crazy fuchsia, and then the inside, the very center, looks almost purple. And it ages to a softer pink, but yeah, so good. This one we've talked about before. I don't have a name for it. It's a water lily type. This was a gift from Brenda, my stepmom. She had these growing in her garden for years. She dug them up and had massive tuber massive tuber clumps. So I cut it up and I have a whole bunch of these. This is probably the most prolific tuber producer and flower producer in the entire field. Probably why it's such a good classic. Like I said, I don't know the name. I'm sure it was like Costco tubers kind of situation many years ago, but she's really good. I love the bubblegum pink color of her. And then the last one in this row is Giggles, another open-centered one. This one is a collarette. It's open, but it has these fluffy layers of a second set of petals in there. I adore this one. Again, with the peach and all these colors that I've got in several other dahlias, but just the shape of her and the collarette style. This one also grabs people's attention. It's really super soft and sweet. And this one is also another one that puts out a ton of flowers every year. And she's a good tuber producer too, if you're interested in that. But yeah, Giggles, try her out. Okay, I think that's it for this batch, this row. So the last one, and there aren't very many in this one, is this row. This one is called Chickadee. This is another sweet little ball type, obviously, but the color changes. Every single flower will be slightly different. It has that sort of deep raspberry, but then it'll have white streaks throughout it. It's really fun and really interesting. And like I said, no two flowers are alike, so I really enjoy growing this one. This gigantic beauty, these colors, these deep dark colors are always some of the hardest to show, but this is a really deep plummy purple color. It's huge. You can see it's like half as big as my head. This one's called Diva. She's a really sturdy, strong flower. She does well in bouquets. Amazing that she does, and she goes really well with some of these other, like the labyrinth and the pinks and whatnot. This one's really good. When the light shines through it, it's sort of it looks a lot more of a bright light purple. Yeah, I love her. This one is called Lights Out. She's a much darker, more burgundy color, smaller obviously than Diva. Diva, the name fits. But this one, yeah, she's called Lights Out. She's really dark. When I've done a few bridal bouquets where they want the soft peaches and light colors, but then they want a pop of a deeper color. Sorry, it's stormy out. It's still windy. When they want that deeper shade to sort of ground the bouquet, this is one of the ones that's my go-to, that deep burgundy. And she's really sturdy. She puts out a ton of bloom. She is a bit of a shorter plant. She only gets maybe 3 feet tall, when the other ones, a lot of them are 4, 5, 6 feet tall. She's a classic hard worker. This one, I have others right back here. This is a small version of her. This one's called Marn. I think she has another name. If you know it, let me know. But this sort of melon orange is really great, especially going into fall. It's not that great big, like, bright pumpkin orange, but it's soft. It goes well with fall colors. It blends well with softer or brighter summer colors. And sort of like the Cornell flowers, this ball shape is just perfect. Hers have little points though on the ends of each of the petals. She's just beautiful, and she puts out a ton of flowers. She's almost always the first to bloom. Puts out a ton of flowers and a ton of tubers. I have 10 Marn plants out there, and I'm getting hundreds of flowers, and I'll probably have 100 tubers from these 10 plants come this fall when I dig them up. And the last couple, this one is Emily Harriet. This is another one that we grew she kind of flopped over, so she's kind of a mess. But this is another one that we grew from seed, cross-pollinated. I think it was the same set of seeds, cross-pollinated labyrinth, or not labyrinth, Cafe au Lait and Castle Drive. I do have Castle Drive out there, but I don't know what happened. Maybe a critter got in there and ate the tubers, but they're not doing really well, so I don't expect to get any more out of those. But this one, in the early season, this flower is giant, like as big or bigger than my head. So pretty. This soft yellow. It's really great. It has a slightly less sturdy head. She's a little floppy, but not bad. Not enough that I won't keep her. I'm gonna continue to produce her tubers, grow up my stock, and then see what happens from there. But I am in love with this shape, this sort of informal decorative with the light lemony yellow. She's good. And then the very last, I have two more. This beauty is called Sunkissed. This is one of the first dahlias I ever grew. Again, a very similar color as the Emily Harriet, though brighter. This is definitely a brighter lemon yellow. And I like this soft color, soft shape of it. These petals are similar to the Bridezilla, and they just, if you're looking for a soft sort of arrangement, no sharp edges anywhere, this is a beautiful one. Sturdy stems. The head doesn't wobble at all. They do really well in a bouquet. They are a little bit fragile. Most white and light colored dahlias, the petals show bruising fairly easily, but this one's better than most. And then the last one. This one is called Ivanetti. It's a dark, it's sort of a burgundy color, brighter obviously than the lights out, but it's a burgundy red. Like, it's definitely more red. This, again, with the classic ball shape, they hold up really well in bouquets, and you never really have to worry about it shriveling up or the head breaking off or the petals getting bruised. They're just good, sturdy, beautiful flowers, and perfect classic for going into fall. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. This is pretty much all the dahlias that I have growing out there. I have multiples of each, some 10, some just a couple because they're new to me, but the goal for me anyways is to have 10 of each variety, and I can get all my hundreds of blooms that I want to out of each one and work it, and that works perfectly for a flower farm situation. These are some dahlias in general are some of the best flowers. They're the best focal flower this time of year. It's mid-August for us. Some years they start blooming in early mid-July, and some years they don't start until the beginning of August. This year it was about the beginning of August, but once they get going, they are the star of the show. They don't have the longest vase life. They don't. They're a little bit more particular. You gotta cut them when it's cool out in the morning or in the late evening, but they're definitely worth it. You can't get this range of colors and shapes and sizes from any other type of flower that I'm aware of. And she's just amazing. Again, a lot of people around here grow dahlias. We have a fairly decent climate for it. We do need to dig them in general. Like, if you got the good spot, you don't necessarily have to, but in order to stay on the safe side, we tend to dig our dahlias every year, because more for rot than for cold. We get so much rain that, that's just part of the deal. But like I said, these are some of the absolute best focal flowers in any garden, any bouquet. People gravitate to them. It's hard to beat. I mean, every one of them is a little bit different, and they're so gorgeous. Okay, well, I hope that you enjoyed walking through all the different varieties that we grow. if you haven't grown any of these, or if you're interested, give them a shot. They're some of the best. Okay, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you're new to dahlias, give them a try. There's so many different kinds. You can grow them from seed, you can grow them from tuber. If you're gonna grow them for a particular type, then you gotta grow them from a tuber. But if you just don't care and want to see what the nature brings, throw out some seed in the spring and see what you get. Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, I hope that you enjoyed this. Hit the thumbs up if you did. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you got a favorite dahlia that you grow that you think I might like, leave it in the comments and I'll check them out and see what new varieties we can try next year. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.